Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, if you can't tell by the title, we're going to be playing with the two last remaining palettes from the Revolution X Corpse Bride collection. Yes, we have the Newlyweds and we have the Grave Misunderstandings palette. I'm going to be playing with both these palettes today. I'm going to be doing one on each eye. So yeah, if you didn't know, Makeup Revolution have collabed with the Corpse Bride. They've created a cute little collection. I've already done a review on the first two palettes, which is the Upstairs Downstairs palette and the Butterfly palette, which are actually sitting behind me right now. So yeah, if you haven't seen them videos, I'll try and remember to link them up in the cards and at the end of this video as well, in case you guys are interested in watching that. So yeah, the first video I did, I used the Upstairs Downstairs palette and I did like a full haul. I showed you guys everything that I received from them. So yeah, and in the second palette I just used the Butterfly palette. But today we're going to be using both of these palettes and I'm excited. Let's go. Okay, so both of these palettes retail for £10. I think that's a really good price. I'm going to show you the inside of them first. So they both come in these plastic sleeves and they both show like what shades are on the inside, that kind of thing. I don't really know why it's like on the back, I think. So yeah, it's weird. But yeah, these are the sleeves and these are the palettes. Super cute. They both got 9 shades in them. So yeah, they also both have a couple of pressed pigments in there as well. So the Newlyweds palette, this is what the packaging looks like. It's obviously got a picture of Emily and Victor. This is the scene where they're both playing the piano. So it's a really cute scene, it's really nice. Then when you open up, you get all these beautiful like bluey shades. So they're really, really pretty. You get a black in here, you get like a lilac-y shade, mainly blue though. You do get 3 shimmers out of the whole 9 shades, so that's pretty good. I think there's definitely enough here to kind of work with in terms of like matte shades. So yeah, some really pretty shades in here. I like this. Then moving on to the Grave Misunderstandings palette, this is where they're all the skeletons are dancing. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's like got that green hue to it. It's also got them dancing on it. And the back, it just basically has the same as what the first one does in terms of just the palette name, little bits of information that you might need to know, and like which ones are pressed pigments. And then when you open this one up, you get more neutrally kind of shades. You can definitely create like a more neutral look out of this, I would say. The shades in here are actually gorgeous as well. Like, coming to look at them, they're really pretty. There's quite a few pinky tones in here as well. So yeah, really nice. I quite like this. And again, you do get 3 shimmers, the same as the Newlywed palette. You get 3 shimmers. One of the mattes does have like glitter particles in it, but I think that will also like disappear when you like start to use it and blend it away, that kind of thing. So yeah, really pretty. Yeah, I am so excited. I'm going to swatch a few shades from each of the palette, so we can get a feel for what we want to do. Okay, so here's the shades. I did 5 from each palette. Yeah, they swatch really well, to be honest with you. They really do. The shimmers are a little bit like, I don't know, they might apply better on the lid. They're like a slightly different formula to what's in the other palettes. So yeah, but they all look amazing, to be honest with you. They actually do. I am so excited. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go ahead. I'm going to prime my lids. I'm going to zoom you guys in. We're going to create 2 different eye looks. I'm excited. Let's get into it. Okay, woo, we are here. Let's get straight into it. I'm excited. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the blue palette first, and I'm going to take Enthusiasm, which is this deep blue shade here. Yeah, there's a black in this palette, which I didn't actually swatch, but yeah, I'm just going to pack this shade on. Oh, that is gorgeous. It's quite a bit of fallout and kick up, but nothing major. I was saying about the upstairs downstairs part, I was like, oh, I really want a silver in this palette, but there's a silver in here, so I understand why they didn't put a silver in there as well. But yeah, I kind of wish there was a silver in that palette as well, but yeah. Okay, moving on, I'm going to start to do this eye just because then my base is still tacky, so if I get that shade on, then I can focus on blending afterwards. So yeah, from this palette, I don't know what shade to take. I'm feeling Black Widow, so we're going to go in with Black Widow, which is this shade here. I kind of want to pull this one a bit more on the pinky side. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to pack this on. There's not a lot of depth in this palette, I do have to say. Just putting it out there, just putting it out into the universe. There's not a lot. I wish there was like green shades in this palette. I kind of do, like, because the whole like scene with the skeleton dance, I thought there would have been some greens, but there's not. However, I'm not mad that they've created more of a neutral palette, to be honest with you. I'm not mad at that, not mad. Okay. Jumping back into this palette, we're gonna take Hopscotch, which is this shade here. Beautiful. I'm just gonna start to blend around the edges. Look at that. I have to say, Revolution's formula is, it's literally up there with some of the best brands, to be honest with you. Like, they've like killed it with their formula at the minute, so yeah, they're killing it. They're killing it. Then going into this palette, I'm going to take this shade here, which is Bones Apart, this one. Or do I go into Alfred? Yeah, we're going to take Alfred instead. I'm so sorry. I was like, what do I do? What do I take? We're going in with Alfred. Okay, moving on. I'm going to go back into the Newlyweds palette, and I'm going to take the shade Not Mine, which is this shade here. Beautiful shade. Beautiful. Start to blend around the edges. Both palettes performing really well so far. So yeah, really happy with how this is going. I like that. I like this blue look. It's gorgeous. I wish there was a bit more depth in the other palette, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna take a little bit of Bonejangles, which is that like creamy shade here in this palette, and I'm just gonna like blend around the edges of this look. Yeah, I wish there was a bit more depth to this palette. But it's still a beautiful palette. You can still get, like I say, quite a neutral look out of it, so that's good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go ahead, jump off camera. I'm going to just basically build up these shades on each eye again, to build them up, blend them out, probably cut my crease. I'm going to do a halo eye on each eye, and then we'll be back and we're going to pick a lid shade for each eye. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I've literally just built the shades, cut the crease. I'm living. I'm actually living. I really love the blue look a bit more. But yeah, I still quite like this look. It's still quite cute. Definitely say that, you know, it's quite wearable. You know, it's quite a wearable kind of a look. So yeah, I really like it. It's really nice. Okay, moving on to the lid shade for both looks. From, I don't know what shade to take from the blue palette. There's these 3 shades. I think I'm definitely just feeling this one. I think we're just gonna go in with that blue shade. I might top it with a little bit of the silver. So that shade is called Love Triangle, which is this one here. So I'm gonna start to apply that. See. Oh, it's a little bit crumbly, but it's still a really nice shade. That's gorgeous. I'm going to top it with some of the silver, just in the centre, which is this shade here. I found that this was quite hard to swatch. However, it could, you know, apply. It's like very firmly pressed in the pan. I'm just going to put a little bit of that in the centre. See? Yeah, it's very firmly pressed in there. It's kind of difficult. I'm really having to like swirl my brush in. But yeah, I'm just going to take the first deep blue shade, that Enthusiasm shade, and I'm just going to like buff it on the edges of the cut crease. Like so. And then go back into the Love Triangle shade, not the silver one, the bluey one. Pack that on again. That's beautiful. Stunning. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and put some of the silver on the inner corner, just to see. Oh, it packs on well there, doesn't it? Gorgeous. Okay, moving on. Going on to this eye. I want to take this shade. I want to take Mrs. Plum, which is this pink shade here. So we're going to go in with this. I definitely wish there was more like deeper tones in this palette in terms of like the mattes and stuff. However, it is a really beautiful palette, so I'm not mad. That shade's beautiful. That is actually a gorgeous shade. It is like a rosy, pinky, goldy shade. Reminds me of an old Makeup Geek shadow. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll know. Just going to go back into that Black Widow shade, which is the first brownie shade, and I'm just going to pack some on the, have to buff it in the, on either edge of the cut crease inside, and then just pop some more back on as well. I don't know if I were to take a bit of another shade in the centre. Like I think I might try. So there is this shade, which is Head Waiter, this beautiful gold shade. I'm going to take a little bit of that and pop it in the centre of the cut crease, the halo eye. This is also quite firmly pressed into the pan. Again, I'm like really trying to like dig in there. It was quite a difficult shade to swatch as well. Oh, I definitely think it's added something to it, hasn't it? That's beautiful. Gorgeous. I like it. I prefer the blue one. I feel like there's not enough depth to this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go ahead. I'm going to do my lashes, my base and everything off camera, and then I'll be back and I'll give you guys my final thoughts. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is the finished look. What do you guys think? On the lower lash line, I just put a little bit of the same like shades underneath, but yeah, and also on my lips I'm wearing the Victor lipstick. I think it kind of goes quite nicely, to be honest with you. I was going to use the Victoria one, but I just didn't think that it would go with the blue, so yeah, we kind of just stuck with the Victor shade. What do you guys think of the finished look? Let me know. I definitely prefer the blue look. I love it, but yeah, I do love both looks. I think they're both really pretty. So let's talk about the palettes. Let's talk about the Newlyweds palette first, which is the blue palette. First off, love this. I think it is gorgeous. I love the shades in here. A couple of the shades I find quite hardly pressed. Mainly the shimmers. This shade here in particular, the silver one. But it's still applied beautifully onto the lid. The other shades apply beautifully. They literally, the blues packed on really well, blended out really well. Literally didn't have a problem with any of the mattes that I used, and I used three. No, I did use Emily as well on the lower lash line, and that worked really well. So I did use quite a few shades out of this palette, but yeah, really like it, really nice. And I really love this shade here, which is a love triangle shade. I think that shade is gorgeous. Yeah, cannot say a bad word about this palette. It has performed amazingly. So yeah, moving on to the grey Misunderstandings palette. Thought there was going to be more green shades in here, if I'm being honest. However, I'm not mad that it is more of like a neutral toned pinky palette, that kind of thing. I do quite like it. I do just wish there was more depth in here, because I used one of the darker shades and it's dark, but it's not. It's more of like a medium toned like shade, if that kind of makes sense. There's not much depth to it. I just wish there was one more shade that was a bit deeper, maybe like change this shade for a deeper shade. But yeah, other than that, it packed on well. The mattes blended out beautifully. This shade on the lid is beautiful. I did top it with this gold shade here, and I think that applied really well. This was also quite like a firmly pressed shade, but it has applied beautifully. I also did put a little bit on my inner corner as well. Yeah, really nice. The quality of the shadows are definitely there. I do really like them, and I also love the packaging as well. So yeah, if you were wanting to pick up these palettes, I would highly recommend them. I definitely think that they are lovely palettes. I do like how they have a more neutral one. I think that's definitely good for people who just want a neutral tone palette. You know, if you love the film and you're like wanting to collect something, but you wanted something that you could use every day, that kind of thing, I would definitely recommend this palette. But yeah, I really like it, and the lipstick shade goes really nicely with this eye as well, so I'm here for it. So guys, this is the finished look. Please let me know what you think of each look. Which is your favourite? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, I have officially used every single palette now, so that's great. I will be using the upstairs downstairs palette again, because I have had a couple of requests to do a different look using it, so I will be using that palette again at some point. But yeah, if you do want me to use either of these two palettes again or the butterfly palette, please let me know. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Everything else that I'm wearing on my face I'll of course link in the description box down below as always, and yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.